Speaking before the Senate on February the 23rd, 1954, Senator William Jenner told the story of a young married man working in a baby carriage factory in Germany during the early days of the Nazi regime. Since his wife was soon expecting their first child, the young man began to save his money to purchase one of the baby carriages he was helping to build. But for some reason, the Nazi government refused to let anybody buy them. So he decided to collect secretly the parts, one from each department, and do the assembly himself at home. Finally, when all the parts had been gathered, he and his wife began to put them together. To their utter astonishment, they wound up with not a baby carriage at all, but a machine gun. And, as Senator Jenner observed, quote, "The pattern was divided into separate parts, each of them as innocent, safe, and familiar looking as possible. The leaders did not intend to assemble the parts until they needed machine guns, but let's keep in mind that when the parts of a design are carefully cut to exact size to fit other parts with a perfect fit in final assembly, the parts must be made according to a blueprint drawn up in exact detail. This does not happen by chance. The men who make the blueprints know exactly what the final product is to be. They have planned the final assembly years ahead. They do not think they are making baby carriages." The United Nations operation in the Congo was no accident. When all the component parts are put together and viewed in their entirety, they mesh so neatly and consistently over a period of time as to reveal a pattern far too obvious to ignore. Nor did this machine gun come into existence overnight. Actually, the planners, who knew what the end product was to be, had been working feverishly for years. Their job was to get the individual pieces properly designed and then manufactured by as many unsuspecting souls as could be enticed to the assembly line. The baby carriages had been described to these workers with such appealing phrases as peace and security, world brotherhood and international cooperation. But when the pieces were assembled in Katanga, they brought death, destruction, and communism. The only people who were surprised at the final product were those who had taken the United Nations at face value and who had never closely examined either the blueprint or the planners who drafted it.